All right, there we go. Hello everyone, how's it going? Team here, and this is BXJS weekly live stream, and we are continuing working on our gaming knowledge graphs for game reviews. Last time we built review scraper that actually processed the Steam reviews, and at the end of the stream I discovered that there's actually an API, so I felt really bad, and I actually added another script that actually uses the proper API to fetch the reviews that works a lot faster basically than my scraping stuff. Mostly because one, the reviews can be asked for like 100 per page, and two, you don't actually have to parse them because you actually get the JSON out. So that's a lot more efficient. This stuff works, but that's fine. So we got the Steam part handled. The next part is gonna be working with OpenCritic and grabbing the reviews from that. And before we dive into coding any scrapers, let's just have a look. Maybe they have an API for that, right? Maybe I don't have to build everything from scratch. That was like I should have thought about that on the previous stream. But hey. The same rigs every damn time. Okay, OpenCritic API. There we go. That's one popular request. So let's have a look. OpenCritic API. Well, they have there's at least they have some articles about that, which is a good thing. Hey Wise, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean it's all right. Can't really complain. It's been quite a bit of work lately because of some startup changes. Let's put it this way. But yeah, it's going pretty good. Hey Kevin, welcome to the stream. All right, so they do have an API, it seems, and there is basically free and paid limits, searches, requests. So we get 200 requests per day, which is perfectly fine. Like we don't, I'm guessing we won't really need more because we just want data for one game, right? And where the hell is the link to the API itself? This is Rapid API. Endpoints. Okay, Playground is... Oh, they even give a Node.js. They have like Node.js fetch. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, criteria, the Witcher 3. So you use the game name instead of ID or anything like that. Interesting. And it also goes through the rapidapi.com. Curious. Have you heard of the new Arc browser? I think I did. Is that the one that is purely for macOS right now, or is that something different? Arc browser. Because I've seen like 3 or 4 different browsers popping up in the past half a year or something, and some of them looked very interesting, but then they were like, hey, we're only for Mac, and I was like, well, okay, then it's not really interesting. Okay, I mean... I'm all in for, newer, more modern, better browsers or whatever. But the thing is that I'm not using macOS that much beyond, building for iOS. And web is a cross-platform thing, right? The main advantage of web is that you can take your computer and go and view something, and then you can take your phone and view the same thing, right? Why would and I use a lot of different platforms. Like I use Linux, I use Windows, I use macOS, and I want to have the same browser on every one of them, right? Or at least similar-ish browser, let's put it this way. It's cool to innovate, don't get me wrong, and I get why they might be starting with macOS, although that's a really weird choice, to be honest, because, the macOS is notoriously hard to develop for because of all the Apple shenanigans. But I'm curious, basically, let's just put it this way. So once it comes out in one form or another, I would be absolutely interested in having a look. I'm also... kind of curious to see as to how it will go in terms of, monetization and being open source, because at least in my head, for a browser, being open source is like very important aspect, basically, right? Because the web is open and you want to have the browsers also open. And so far, all of the browsers were open, right? And are open right now. So I think this new trend is, I don't know if it's going to live. I get why they're doing that again. So they basically can attract investors and tell them, hey, we actually have this super cool proprietary product that nobody else has, right? And it makes it easier to raise money, but I don't know if it's gonna work. That's just my take on it. Okay. API article. Oh, they are using Rabbit API. Okay, interesting. So the whole API is done through Rabbit API, and you have to, I guess, what is Rabbit API actually? I never heard about them. Is it like discover and connect thousands of APIs, login, docs, okay? So I guess this is sort of API as a service with keys and everything. I mean, that's not bad. Okay. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So what do we need to do? We can log in with GitHub. Okay, what permissions do you want? Wants access to the account, personal user data. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, you can have that. All right. I guess let's just grab a key here and try to just, right. What's that? Wait a second. What's that? OpenCritic. Oh, so there's an npm package, OpenCritic node. That is good. Is there a GitHub repo? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we probably won't even have to scrape anything. Is there method examples? Doesn't seem like there's any auth or anything like that. What does it uses? A client. Enums interfaces, common OpenCritic client. This does what? Get games, get client API help. Man, you gotta love object-oriented programming sometimes. It's like, here's one thing that inherits other thing that you try and go find whatever the hell it does, basically. Okay, you know what? We're gonna stick with Rabbit API because it's probably more than enough. Did you see the news for RTX 4000 cards? Yes, I did. It looks absolutely overpriced. I am really curious to see the unofficial benchmark. So, the like experts benchmarks, not what NVIDIA basically tries to push. I am considering getting 4090 for machine learning, but I first would wait to see basically how good it is in comparison to 3090, right? Because right now, 3090 is extremely worthwhile investment if you want to train any machine learning models. Like, this thing is way more powerful than anything, for example, Amazon provides for training models, at least at the current moment. I know that they have some sort of a secret new training instances coming in the near future, but I don't know how good they will be, right? And the current ones they have, even the GPU instances, are not particularly fast. Like, they're, I don't know, I think it was like 4 or 5 times slower than just having a server with 3090 in it, which is, I think buying 3090, if its price goes down and if 4090 is not, I don't know, 2 times faster, or no, wait, 2 times is probably asking too much, but like 50% faster, right? I don't know if it's worth like I think it's like $2,000 here in Europe. So with all the taxes and everything, it's like 2,000 euro or something. It's, boy. I just recently upgraded to a 3080 Ti. My wallet was crying, but I needed that card that supports HDMI 2.1. Okay. I mean, I've bought 3070 Ti a year ago, and I managed to snag it for like 700 something euro, which was near MSRP. I think like 100 euro more than MSRP, which was, pretty good. And for gaming, this card is perfect. Like, I literally don't need anything else. For machine learning, unfortunately, it has like 8 gigs of VRAM. That is not sufficient at all. So that's like the main problem for me, is that when I need to do machine learning, and my current card is just not enough, and using Amazon Web Services is also... like, I guess it's okay. You sort of start training and just go away for a day, but that's not really efficient, when you can do the same thing in like a couple of hours essentially on 3090. Okay, so we're gonna have fetch OpenCritic reviews. But yeah, basically on 4000 series, I'm very curious to see the reviews. I'm also very curious to see how it will perform with regards to machine learning, because this is sort of the only thing that interests me as, potential upgrade. And the prices are ridiculous for current gen, for next gen even more so. And it's like, I think it's probably all gonna go come crashing essentially in the nearest future, because mining all of a sudden is no longer profitable, right? And miners are trying to offload their cards. And it's like, so, okay. And NVIDIA is still trying to push the same prices that was there like a year ago, right? When it was like peak mining. craze and people were buying them for whatever price because you couldn't get one. Well, it's no longer the case. So I don't think those prices are gonna fly. At least, maybe I'm mistaken. Like maybe I'm misreading the situation, but it really seems like people are just no longer care that much about the nominal, I don't know, what is it, 30% increase in power, right? For double the price, essentially. I'm curious to see how it will go. So official release is like in 2 weeks or something, right? So we're going to see the reviews then. We're going to see the first sales numbers. My guess is that by the beginning of 2023, the prices are going to go down quite significantly because nobody will buy that. But again, that's just my guess. Okay, get Open Critic reviews. Let's go for that. Okay, it's going to be a sync. We are gonna do that. All right, so const results, await, fetch, JSON. Yes, okay, so we don't need that. All right, let me think for a second. So we need that. Hi, cat. What are you doing here? Return. Right, this should be, no, JSON should be results. Hey, me, welcome to the stream. Your name gets me every time, man. Okay, so we need OpenCritic key, right? Sorry, the xrapid API key. Okay, let's do process env rapid API key, and I will just, cat, can you please not lie down on my hand? I needed to type. I need to get this key, and then I need to export it, I guess. Okay, so we are now logged in. Little drive-by cat. I mean, he does this all the time. He's like... every freaking time he just goes by and, you know, Zoom calls, whatever, business calls with investors, the cat just like... what are we making today? Well, we're continuing to make our data set for gaming knowledge graphs. The idea is that we're going to grab the reviews from Steam, grab the reviews from OpenCritic, and then process them through natural language processing, some sort of. I'm not sure yet what exactly we're going to be doing there. And then build the sort of, you know, the closest games, recommended games, essentially, based on the reviews, not the arbitrary tags. Miss the days when $500 cards was considered expensive. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I still remember the day when I bought 1070 for like $300 and thought that was expensive. Oh man, yeah, that's that was the time. That was it. Anyway, how do I save the API? There you go. It's probably the button, right? Yes, there we go. Okay, freemium. Yes, freemium is perfectly fine. Right. So let me do that over here, I guess. Export rapid API key, and then it's gonna be that key, right? How do can I copy that? I guess not. Okay. I wonder... Oh, it literally shows the key here. Okay, you know what? I don't even need to hide that. I can just do that here. I can just regenerate it later. All right, that's perfectly fine. Nobody was ever hurt by that. Okay, pre-process, fetch, OpenCritic reviews. Right. Right, okay. So what we need to do is, this is the URL. Options can be abstracted. So we generate the URL here, and then the criteria. Just let me not do the same mistake I did last stream. It's going to be game name, right? So this is going to be encode URI component. Game name is what we want. Okay. All right. Theoretically, if we do now get OpenCritic reviews, I don't know what game. Let's just have a look at the homepage. So you can grab something like Solstice, for example, which is relatively new, seems to have decent reviews, and you just throw it over here. Good to have you back. Hope you will be streaming in future as well. Well, yeah, I'm trying to stream basically every Wednesday now. Last Wednesday, unfortunately, didn't work out because we had some important calls to take work-wise, but essentially every Wednesday, 4 p.m. should be a stream, unless there's, you know, something out of ordinary happens and I have to leave, basically. So, which shouldn't be too often. Okay, node fetch, right. I don't need node fetch because we're using node 18, so the fetch is now baked in, which is good for us. Okay. You are not subscribed to this API. Okay, what do I need to subscribe to it? Subscribe. Is that what I want? Yes, I want free. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So theoretically now we should get... Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so this is I guess search method. Yeah, so we need, I don't need game search. I need game ID. Okay. I guess this is what we want. Where's the description of what they do? Right. Okay. While it is a very nice thing that they give an examples of how this works, it will also be great to actually read what the hell does this API does. Get game data. Okay. Well, there's at least some description, which is good. Reviews for game. Okay, so we're basically interested in that. I wonder, so does that mean we need to do 2 requests basically? So 1 request to find the game and 2nd request to get the reviews, right? I guess so, right? Because this returns the list of the games, which is like, come on, just let me like, oh man, some of those APIs are slightly backwards in my opinion. Okay, const let's call it find game by name, or I guess no, wait, that's a bad name. Game ID by name, right, is what we want to call it. Game name is gonna be the parameter, and then this is exactly what we're gonna do, but instead of returning everything, so this is gonna be games, right? And then we're gonna return games. We're gonna return the first one essentially, right? Okay, cool. So this is game by ID, okay. So no, game, yeah, let's call it game by, game info by ID. Yeah, that sounds about right. Const game await. So we're gonna get game info by name. This is gonna be game name, right? I cannot type for the life of me, cat. My hands are... So this old guy I have here, he is kind of a bit sick now. So he has heart problems and takes meds now to survive. And he's got extremely clingy after that. And he basically tries to sleep on my hands whenever he can, which is like... it's very cute, but it is extremely hard to work with when you just like all 5 kilograms just lie on your hand. And yeah, it's a bit of a problem sometimes. All right, cool. So we got the game, we got the ID. Now we need to do, okay, not Axios. Why do you not remember what I picked last time, game? Okay, we got this thing. And we can throw that over here, right? Okay, skip 20. We don't need to skip anything. So this is the URL. I assume this is game ID over here, right? Game review for game, and there is no spec for how the URL looks. Boy, do I sometimes love third-party APIs. But anyway, okay, I think this is what it should be, right? So this is supposed to be game ID, and then you got skip X to get whatever sort. Okay, we don't really care about sorting. Skipping, yeah, so we can, I guess I can do skip N, right? So skip 0 in the beginning. I believe, okay, API and host are the same. That is fine. Why did I copy? Oh yeah, right, because we didn't. So this should be over here. Yep, that looks good. Okay, and we should probably abstract this into reviews await into that console log reviews, right? Okay, and then we need to run this until we basically end up with 0 games. I hope they have some sort of a pagination. Get game reviews. Okay, async game. Let's see, let's just pass the whole game object because why not? And then return reviews. So we're gonna tweak that in a second. Const reviews await get game reviews. Yep. What is going on? Okay. And then game goes in here. And then return reviews, right? Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, okay, we're logging it here, so we're fine. Okay, let's test it. So theoretically, it unexpected JSON at position 0. Okay, why? Game reviews, game ID. So we are passing the game, right? And so let's log this and see what is the game. Yes, that seems... Why is it returning doc type HTML? So this is the... Whoops. This is the ID. What if I try it over here, right? So test and can I... Is there... No, there's no way to execute that, really? They're like, hey, this is our playground, but it doesn't actually run anything. Okay, well, I mean, we can... what we can do is we can do res text, right? And just see what actually is in the body. And the body says cannot get API reviews game ID. Okay. Interesting. Why cannot it get that URL? Is the URL correct? OpenCritic P Rapid API reviews game ID. Yes, that seems correct, right? Reviews game ID. Yeah. Okay. What does this return? So if we just do game, okay, let's try doing that. Okay, so this actually returns game profile, right? So this is the game information. There's the images, there's the platforms, there's the trailers, which is quite nice. There's actually pretty decent data here. There's some description. Now the problem is, why is it reviews/game, first of all? Second of all, reviews for game. Reviews, game, and then ID, right? So that seems like it should work, so why is it not working? Yes, okay, so it says cannot get that URL. Oh boy, okay. Let's see the format: reviews author, reviews outlet, reviews game. Yeah, that seems like it should be, well, at least, okay, let's just a second. Does it return the correct information? So ID, yes, this is Solstice. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely the correct game, definitely the correct ID. URL, we got the URL, yes. Genres. Is the ID you have to use here in reviews different? So what was the ID before? Let me just reload that and we'll have a look at the ID and try to find that game. Review, yes, 463. That should work. Like their example should work, right? Like I'm not expecting too much from this, right? Okay, yes, reviews game. No, it doesn't. Example does work. Perfect. Jesus. Ah, boy. Okay. Sure, fine. That's perfectly good. Okay, let me think for a second. Why cannot I get the reviews and what can I do? Test endpoint. Yes? No? 404. Okay, cool. So it also doesn't work over here. OpenCritic API reviews 404. I wonder if that is a known problem. In case you missed it, had a huge update, completely entire technology stack. Filter endpoint API returns 404. Yes, new docs here. Okay, so they have some new docs. Right. Okay, so wait, does this mean this works? No, it does not. Okay, so I guess they don't updated the Rapid API docs. Is that what's happened? Okay, review game, but oh, review. It's not reviews anymore. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Right, let's try this. Does this work? Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. Right, so the next question is, how do we know how many reviews are there and how do we paginate over that? That is a lot of... Oh, okay, it returns quite a decent number of reviews. And ID outlets. Okay, I wonder how many it returns and how do we know if we can query more? You know what? Like, I mean, there's always a very simple way of doing it, right? Okay, this is gonna be game. There's gonna be skip at 0. Then I'm gonna say skip. Skip goes over here. Okay. All right, and we need an array for all reviews that is by default empty array. So we say all reviews are gonna be equal all reviews concat reviews, or I guess, yeah, const new all reviews. Let's not mutate anything. That's always better, right? But we need to, okay, so if reviews length, I guess if it's 0, right? Like if it returns nothing, then we can just return all reviews. Otherwise, we concat and do await get game reviews, and then game all reviews is gonna be new all reviews, and then skip is gonna be skip plus reviews length is what we want to skip, right? So I think that should make sense. And then we have to pass it like that. And theoretically, okay, so we're not gonna log that. I mean, we can do console log fetched. You know what? Let me just do it like this. Fetched all reviews length reviews. Continue. No, you know what? Let's do it over here. So we're gonna say, hey, we fetched reviews length, adding to all reviews length, and then here we're gonna say done fetching, and here we're just gonna say continuing fetching. I mean, we actually don't need, yeah, so we can just say done fetching because there's going to be zeros there, so it doesn't make any sense. We can just do that. Fetch this amount reviews, continuing is what I want to say. Okay, cool. And right, so I think that should do it. 20. Cool. Okay, so that works. All right, perfect. I guess that's good, right? So that means we can take this index.mjs. So say, all right, so this is gonna be Steam reviews, whoops, const open critic reviews, wait, get open critic reviews. Let me just collapse that. Okay, and this takes a game name, right? So let us find the game ID for Solstice, and now let's just grab the reviews for Solstice, because that's, why the hell not, right? It is in my wish list, so I do want to check it out at some point, and I've heard good things about it, so why the hell not use that as an example? There we go. Solstice, okay, so we got that, and then for reviews, so we're just gonna write that as Steam reviews and open critic reviews, right? So theoretically, after we run the index, okay, we don't need that actually. After we run index, we should get, oh right, I should probably kill this because we don't need that. After we run the index, we should get the reviews JSON updated. So right now it just has the reviews from Steam. And we should get reviews both from Steam and from OpenCritic. Perfect. Okay, 82 out of 79 reviews. I'm sorry, what now? Okay, wait, this is perfectly fine. That's totally normal. All right. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, okay, right. So the problem now is that once you get those reviews from Solstice, is that they are not actually complete reviews, right? So what the the OpenCritic. So what OpenCritic gives you is links to reviews essentially with some additional metadata, right? So what we need to do is we need to, okay, let me just format this real quick. So we would need to go to this URL, extract the main information, and then prepare it for processing basically, right? Just do the word wrap. So the snippets and titles they have are not that good, right? So it's like, I guess you can extract some stuff from that, but yeah, okay. So that's the scores, which I guess is a bit useful maybe somehow, but yeah, not really for us. Okay, so we need to, this works, which I guess I'm just gonna commit, which is always a good thing to remember. Okay, add basic open critic API review list fetcher. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to go through all of those reviews on OpenCritic, right? So we get this reviews, review, let's call them review links, right? Because this is more specific in this case. So we need to go through each one of those and then fetch the body and then clean it up. So this is the main problem. So last time we used Python package to do that for the whole summarization stream, right? So I'm thinking maybe there is a JavaScript one that does the same. So we're gonna see. What was the Python extract HTML content? I do not remember the name of it for the life of me. Let's try GitHub. So let's see. Building X with JS. Yes. And what was the last anti-clickbait extension? There was a Python thing that we used, and it was Fetcher, right? Yes. Trafilatura, right? That was the name of it. So Trafilatura Python, and what does it? Python package command line tool to gather text on the web. Okay. Extract tech content maybe or something. I know that there was a Mozilla project. Mozilla is pack extract main content or something like that. I definitely remember seeing the blog post from Mozilla people about that. Readability, I think that was it, right? So the basically that the package that provides the same thing that you have in Chrome or Edge or whatever. So this is the reading view that removes everything that is unnecessary, right? Readability JS, yes, that is probably it. You give it a document. So it relies on DOM, which is, I mean, I guess we could do virtual DOM or something, or like JS DOM or yeah, whatever. Yeah, we could go this way. I mean, I guess that will work. I wonder how good would that. You know what? Let's try. Let's give it a shot. I'm very curious. So let's create a new extract main content MJS. Yeah, I should probably reorganize those a bit, but we can do it later. That's fine. Okay. So we need Mozilla readability. npm install. I think JS DOM was like super big and slow, right? And there was a package that was a lot smaller and faster, but I don't remember the name of it. So JavaScript implementation, web standards. Yeah. We just need. What was the name of it? I remember seeing it more. Happy DOM, right? That was the Happy DOM. And there was something else, if I remember correctly. No. Okay, you know what? Let's have a look at the Happy DOM. I wonder if it is compatible. Because I'm pretty sure, okay, so this is like 1.9 megabyte unpacked, and JS DOM is massive. Like that thing is incredibly large. Although, okay, there's like 3 megs, not too terrible, I guess. Maybe the newer versions are a lot more optimized because it's like it is at version 20. Happy DOM, custom DOM, fetch, okay. I wonder if that will work. Body inner. Well, okay, at least you can. You know what? Let's just go with JS DOM because why not? A few megabytes is not a big issue for us. npm install JS DOM. I am really curious to see how that extraction will work because, like, this is one of the most annoying problems to handle, at least for me, whenever I work with, well, anything related to getting content from the web, right? It's. Python kind of solves it, so the extractors Python has is a bit better. Whoops. All right, so and then we need a function that is gonna say extract main content from URL, right? It's gonna be a sync. It's gonna take in a URL, and whoops. And then we're gonna return article. And we also don't need any of that being let because we're not gonna mutate that. Okay, so URL is going here, that is fine. Now what we need to do is we need to actually load the content of URL. Content. I guess let's call it HTML. Wait, fetch URL, then our text. We probably should also pretend to be the Google bot or something similar, so that we actually don't get a bunch of garbage in the HTML. Okay, and then if we take, so we can take one of the reviews from OpenCritic and just, yeah, like Games Radar. I wonder how many of those websites are like really bad when you try to get content and just, you know, don't work without JavaScript or something like that. We're gonna see. Result awaits. Okay, extract main content. There's our URL. Console log result. Okay. Let's see how that works. I'm very curious. So that will be pre-process extract main content. That is actually pretty good, right? So this is the body. So this is the content that we, okay, this is the content that is already extracted. So there's our title. I guess we only need a few properties out of that. So let's see. Reader parse. Let's say we get title. What else is there? We need language. Yeah, that's actually sounds good because we don't actually want reviews that are not in English. There is a text content and excerpt. Yeah, why not? Let's go for excerpt as well. We can do title, excerpt, language, and text content. There we go. Okay. And I guess we should probably clean up the text content because all of those /n's are not exactly helpful. Whoops. Text content, replace. Right, so there should be a regex /n plus. We're just going to replace with 1/n, right? I think that should do it. Yep, that looks pretty clean to me. Games Radar verdict. Pros, cons. Okay, so this is the summary from the top. Publisher, developer. Okay, it does, I mean, the content is not perfect, so there's like this stuff, you know, like not enough line breaks in some places, I guess. But I think that should not be a major problem when analyzing that. We're gonna find out. Okay. So there's some information about the writer here, which is also fine. I mean, it would probably contribute to the profile. Although I don't know. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. But that seems to be working decently well, actually. Is it really that short there? I mean, Games Radar is not exactly known for writing really big and detailed reviews, but that seems overly short. Bylining, it's okay, so... Okay, so it ends with Solstice was reviewed on PC. Okay, is that the end? That seemed to be a... Oh, okay, yeah, I guess. Is it the same text? Another layer of... No. Yeah, okay. Well, okay, seems like it is. Yeah, so there's a bit... It's a bit iffy on formatting. But I guess we can just write it off on, like, decent-ish quality of the extraction. I wonder if there's any preferences we could... min content length, min score, minimum cumulated score used to determine if document is readable. Okay. Right, there we go. So there is the options: debug, max element to parse, and top candidates, character threshold, classes to preserve, keep classes. Okay. Serializer. Okay, so you can have like a custom serializer for stuff. Interesting. Parse, okay, so this is what returns, is probably readable. All right. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That's perfectly fine. So I guess that's okay. So what we can do now is we can take this function, take it into the OpenCritics review, right? And then go and say, okay, reviews are actually await promise all. Oh boy, do I want to do that. So essentially, one way to do that would be just map all of them to that extractor. And I guess all the outlets are going to be different. So it's not a big problem if we request them all at once, right? We shouldn't hit any or we shouldn't abuse their service, let's put it this way. So I think it should be okay. Map review data. Okay, and then we should map it to extract that from review data. And then what was the this is what we have, and it is external URL is what we want. Okay, so we're gonna do that. No, wait a second, that is, oh boy. Okay, let's call it content, and then we need to return, yeah, that should be a sync. That is correct. So there's going to be contents. Then we're going to go URL is review data external URL. I wonder if I just do this, right? So just expand that. And then we can just return review. So basically just mix the existing data, which is that. I wonder if, I mean, we could probably mixing is a critic. Let's just do that, right? So we say, hey, open critic data is over here in case you need to access it later, and then content is whatever we got from that. Theoretically, that should be working. Let's give it a shot, I guess. Oh, wait a second. Did I? Yes, I did remove that. Okay. That's whoops. No, that is not what I want to run. I want to run index.js. So there's our reviews. And there is cannot destructure title property of parse as it is now. Okay, so there is sometimes a case when it can be null. Would not parse CSS style sheet. Okay, so there is also some parsing errors, which I guess we have to handle. Okay. Right, so we are gonna say say parsed, right? And then if no parsed, then we're just gonna return, well, I mean, we can return HTML, right? So we can also put it over here so that we have the full picture. And then if it is parsed, then we can do that. I wonder if that's enough. So there's some errors as well, but I wonder if we need to handle those or if those stem from basically not being able to extract stuff. So let's try it again. I should probably remove this logging from the Steam reviews. Okay, well, it did spew out the errors. Error could not parse style sheet. Is there a way to, like, I don't really care about parsing style sheets, right? So is there a way to Mozilla readability it was? Is there a way to silence that? Because we don't really care about that, right? So we don't care about the CSS classes and all that business. We just want pure text content. Okay, let's see, maybe oh yeah, you know what, I can just do that, right? In this repository, yes. Is there issues where, no, there are no issues. And okay, GitHub search is as terrible as always. All right, well, okay, you know what, let's have a look at the result, because this is what we're interested in, right? Okay, we got Steam reviews, which we can collapse. We don't care about that. Open critic reviews, and okay, HTML, that is a whole lot of stuff, and I, for whatever reason, cannot collapse it. Maybe there was, you know what, we can, okay, that's fine. What we can do is we can write a quick script that will say, how do we call it? So, okay, you know what? Let me just do my favorite thing, tm.js. That is the most helpful script ever. Okay, import from node.js promises, read file. Oh, wait, no, I don't need that, right? I can do import data from reviews JSON assert JSON. I believe that is, I keep forgetting how you do import assertions. Node.js import assertion. I know that they are already in nodes 18 or whatever I'm using, right? All right, assert type JSON is what it is, right? But I keep forgetting how the hell do you write that properly. Okay, console log data, and then here we want OpenCritic reviews, and then okay, const texts map r text content. Okay, and yeah, I guess you know what, let's do it text, and then ID is gonna be, should be in the brackets, r OpenCritic. No, you know what, let's not go for ID, let's make it readable and go for title. Right, there we go. So console log texts, and let's do length. So basically I want to see how many of those failed completely, right? God damn it, that was a wrong button. Well, I hope we don't get over the limit of free requests I have for OpenCritic, but I think that should be fine. Okay, tmjs r content, yeah, there you go. Okay, so we need that, or -1. Right, so we got and yeah, I guess we can just do filter C, so that C text so there is no C text essentially, right? Okay, so there's exactly one failed, and I think that is ACG review from YouTube. So here's what I'm gonna, I mean, theoretically we could add a parser for YouTube as well, which, you know, it shouldn't be too hard because YouTube has subtitles, like auto-generated subtitles. But that does mean we will essentially have to manually handle the YouTube things ourselves, which is additional work. I don't know if I want to do that, so let's see. Yeah, it is YouTube. Okay, cool. So we can basically ignore that all other content was successfully extracted, which is great for us. Okay, okay, cool. At pre-pro, yeah, whoops. Git add pre-processing. Okay, git commit add main content extraction from OpenCritic reviews. All right, let's do some refactoring because it's already getting a bit out of hand, right? There's like all those long names, as I don't like it. So we're gonna call pre-processing, there's gonna be extract. Move that here. Let's call it extract content, right? That's it, super simple. Then there's gonna be fetch folder. And then we're gonna move all our scripts over here into fetch because that's just gonna be a lot easier to read. Okay, there's gonna be OpenCritic. There's gonna be Steam HTML. Let's call it this way. Well, no, that comma should not be there. And then over here, it's gonna be Steam API. Okay, cool. Probably need to fix some imports. So there's gonna be, whoops, extract content, yes. Do we import? Okay, this is node modules. Nope, that's all good. We do not import anything here, which means that index.mjs is the only thing we need to change. Fetch OpenCritic, fetch Steam API. Perfect. Okay, cool. Pre-processing, git, okay, git refactor folder struct, I guess refactor, yeah, folder structure, that's fine, folder structure. Simplify file naming. All right, let me think for a second. So now that we have that, and there is our reviews over here, theoretically, we can start working on processing, right? So we need to, now we need to figure out what exactly we're going to do with those. Okay, so as I mentioned last time, there's basically two ways to do that, right? One, we could try to extract entities, extract things, and maybe, I don't know, like extract tags or something like that. Essentially, you know, the most frequently used sentences or words and key phrases. Yeah, key phrases is what you call them. And try to base our recommendations on that. But that is like a lot of extra steps, right? So it's sort of building knowledge graphs. I don't know if we even need that. The other way is to convert that to vectors essentially, you know, and just compare the reviews of different games to see how similar they are. Now I'm wondering what would be the better approach. I mean, I was basically told by an machine learning expert, NLP expert, that the converting everything to vectors and then just using vector search would be a lot easier and a lot faster and probably give you the same results as using knowledge graphs, but knowledge graphs can augment that. And yeah, I'm not sure if we want to do that now or if maybe I want to go think about that. But essentially what we need to do is, what we definitely need to do is collect the data set, right? So we need to grab top X games, right? For whatever year. Maybe top 10 games or something. And preferably the ones that are, you know, handpicked so that we can actually get some similarity between them. And then process, okay, first obviously assemble the data set for that. And after that, we want to already do processing and then comparison, right? Because the machine learning part is actually super straightforward. Like at least if we do the vector stuff, then it's should take us an hour or something. So I guess let's do the data set first. I mean, yeah, again, we could take just like top 40, 50 games or something. Should be sufficient, right? Okay, let's give it a shot. So what do we do here? We say games. Yeah, let's call it games list MJS. Let's do that, and then we're gonna say again export const games. So we need an array, right? An array is going to include Steam ID, which is going to be something, and then array is going to include game name, which is going to be something. So we need Steam ID for Steam reviews fetching, and we need the game name for OpenCritic fetching. So we are going to have, okay, let's start with Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it is on Steam. So there's also the problem of finding the games that are on Steam, and yes, it is on Steam. So we can grab this ID, okay. That is one. Elden Ring is absolutely on Steam. Probably should do this. Just gonna copy that and paste it a few times, and then we're gonna, yeah, so we got Elden Ring. Why are you inserting line break before? I have no idea. By the way, if you haven't played Elden Ring, I absolutely recommend it. It's a pretty damn incredible game. Okay, we got Hades. I think it's also on Steam, if I remember correctly. Hades, yes, it is on Steam indeed. It's also a great game. Okay, we got Hades. So what's next? We got Divinity Original Sin 2. I mean, I can already see that some of those should have at least distant similarity. Let's just put it this way, right? Okay, Definitive Edition. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, all right, what else is there? Undertale, yeah, sure, let's take Undertale. God damn it, stop inserting line breaks. All right, Undertale is that. Then we got Dead Cells, The Queen in the Sea. That is something new I have not. Okay, it's a DLC. Let's just go for Dead Cells itself, because why not, right? And that should be sufficient. It's not new, like completely new game, but neither is like Undertale, for example, so that's fine. Is there Final Fantasy 14? Yeah, it is. Okay. But that's a DLC as well, so yeah. Whoa. No. Okay, Final Fantasy 14 online there. Oh boy, no, I could. A very good question, by the way. How many reviews do those have? Because if we start scraping games that have thousands of reviews, it's gonna, oh boy, okay. That is a 300,000 reviews. Okay, well, almost 300,000. So I don't know if I How far I want to scrape it. It's really gonna take like so we scrape 100 per half a second, right? So that means that we got 269, well, 277,000 basically, divided by 500 milliseconds, and that is by 60. That is, oh, well, 10 minutes is, no, wait a second, would that be minutes or? Yes, it would be minutes, yeah. So 10 minutes is not particularly bad, but that's still a lot. Okay, what about Elden Ring? Let's see. Well, I mean, if every one of them is like 10 minutes or something, that's not too bad. 400,000. Maybe we should pick a bit more niche games or something, because that is... I somehow forgot that part of... Okay, that's also 200k. You know what? Screw it. I'll just gonna run it overnight or something. And we're basically gonna have a data set, and I will have to publish it because that's way too much information. Okay, Metal Gear Solid 5. Where's the ID? Yeah, that's probably also gonna have. Okay, well, it's just 50k reviews, not too terrible. And that is gonna be a very nice data set to play around with, by the way. So, Witcher 3. Let's go for the main Witcher 3. Witcher 3, no, that is should be just the Witcher 3. Oh boy, that is 600k reviews. No. Okay, I hope I won't get banned for like scraping all of that. That would be unfortunate if Steam just decides that I like broke something, and well, I mean, hopefully they're not. Maybe just rate limiting a bit, you know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, no, you know what? I'm not going to take GTA 5 because that is 1.3 million reviews. No, no way. Not even gonna try to scrape that. Oh, gee. I mean, it would actually be relatively easy to get the open critic part, right? But that's like 1.5 million reviews on Steam, which is just silly. There are Forza on Steam. Okay, Forza, yes, that is Forza on Steam. Right, I should probably, where's my, do I still have it in history? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. Let me just do that a few times. Okay, Forza. And then ID is that. Okay. I'm really curious as to how long that will be. I don't think I'm going to run that on stream because that is, yeah, it's going to take some time, right? It's like if it's 10 minutes per games, we have like 30 of them or something, that is going to be pretty long. Okay, that is Flight Sim. Maybe we just take the first 20. Maybe that's sufficient. I don't know how well will they gel with each other, but we're gonna find out. And there's Disco Elysium. Well, I mean, at least I can see some of those I would basically recommend to people. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, let's go for 20 games. That seems about right? We got inside, okay. I'm just gonna paste the names for now, and then we're gonna go on Steam and find them. I'm also gonna await pasting or like copying the names of the games. What in the hell is freshly frosted? What is that? I guess it's some casual game or something. What is this? Is that on Steam? It is. Fascinating. Why does it have such a glowing reviews on OpenCritic, and on Steam is like 100 reviews or something? That is, although it has 100% positive rating, that is insane to me. Okay, you know what? We're gonna take Freshly Frosted because why not? I have no idea what this game is, but maybe I end up buying it after we do this experiment. Okay, Ori and the Will of Wisp, absolutely a fantastic game. Overwatch is Overwatch, and it's not on Steam, so we're not gonna do that. Okay, Stanley Parable. And Norco. Is Norco on Steam? I know this is on Xbox and Game Pass. It is on Steam. Okay, cool. So, okay, that's our data set of 20 games. Gonna collect that. Have you played Cyberpunk at all? I'm debating picking it up now that it's on sale. I've pre-ordered it. I had unfortunate. I was stupid enough to trust in CDPR after Witcher 3 and all the DLCs and pre-ordered it. I played it on start. It was decent-ish, but the amount of bugs was just silly. From what I heard, it is a lot better now. So if it's discounted, and if you like the CDPR, if you like CDPR kind of games with, you know, the whole like story and everything, so don't expect it to be GTA 5 in Cyberpunk world or whatever. It's not that. But if you want like a narrative story with really good quests and okay-ish gameplay, like it's not amazing, but it's fine, you know, it's functional, then absolutely do pick it up because the story is great. Like the world, the characters, this is like if you like The Witcher, you will most likely like this as well. Let me just put it this way. But yeah, I mean, at launch it was absolute freaking mess. Oh boy, I really like. I'm really curious to see. Number one, whether the DLC they will release will. I mean, I wouldn't say fix, but improve upon. Oh no, I'm not gonna take Dota. That is like 2 mil reviews. No. Okay, is there a Rayman Legends? Yes, there is. Let's swap it for Rayman Legends because I want to murder my bandwidth. Okay. Yeah. So coming back to Cyberpunk, essentially, if you like story-driven games, if you like the worlds that CDPR builds, there's a lot to enjoy there. The gameplay is fine. Like there's nothing. I don't know if they balanced it or not, but like in the very beginning, some of the skills were just ridiculously broken. Like if you were an edge runner, you could literally like hack wipe the whole map. It's like it was just silly, but you know it was enjoyable. So yeah, definitely if you like games like this and if you know what you're getting into, like as in it's not GTA, absolutely get it. It's probably worth it right now on discount. Why is this no? Okay, so it's just Nier Automata. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's grab this. How many? 77k. That's fine. Oh boy. Okay, I'm looking forward to running this whole thing and collecting all those reviews. Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, both are great. So Horizon Zero Dawn is one of the very few games that gets combat with versus giant monsters right. Like it is just absolutely awesome what they did there with, you know, hunting machines. The way mechanics work is I finished it. So I first bought it and finished it on PS4 on a very crappy frame rate, and it was quite a bit of suffering because PS4 was barely handling some of the locations. And then I bought it again when it came out on PC and finished it second time with all the DLCs and stuff, just because the combat is that damn good. The story is fine-ish. Like I find the world and the backstory fascinating, but the way they present the story is a bit flat. Let's just put it this way. Like some characters are just lifeless, but it's a great game overall, in my opinion. So yeah, if you do like that, you know, the idea of fighting giant monsters with a bow, absolutely grab it as well. It's pretty great. Okay, but yeah, I mean, if I would pick between Cyberpunk and Horizon, like that is a tough choice, to be honest. I mean, both are great, and I finished both of them. I did finish Horizon twice, so you know, and I'm waiting for Cyberpunk DLC to maybe play it once more, but like we'll see how that ends up. I'm honestly not sure I would pay for DLC. Well, pay anything for DLC because the state of the game on release was so bad. I'm not even sure anymore. I want to sort of support CDPR in the current states. Like maybe they finally redeem themselves with that DLC, but we'll see. All right, so we got the games. We got how do we do this? So essentially, we make a folder. Let's call it dataset, I guess, right? And I'm gonna throw in a git keep file in there. So what we want to do is we want to import from games list, right? So we get games. Okay. Const process games. It's gonna be async. And we're gonna do one at a time because I don't want to be like banned terribly. Right? Process games. Okay. One more related topic, what we're actually doing. Have you heard of, looked at TRPC? Somebody already asked me about TRPC, and I think I already looked at it at some point. Yes. And it looks fine. I like remote procedure call is how do I put it best? I've never had any use case that would benefit from that. Let me just put it this way, right? It's like it sounds cool in theory, but in practice, something like GraphQL, 99% of time is sufficient, right? And then you don't have to worry about, well, a lot of things essentially, right? TRPC is like, if it works for you, cool. But like, yeah, again, you know, I don't know, man. Like, it's literally, I don't have enough experience with this to comment on anything, but I'm just not a big fan of RPC in general. Doesn't GraphQL also gets complicated to set up and everything too? Well, I mean, it depends on what you are using and how are you using it. I typically just go for Hasura, which means that you get instant GraphQL out of the box on top of Postgres with authorization, with caching, with whatever the hell you want. And there's literally like 10 minutes to set this up. So no, it's not complicated. If you have to add GraphQL on top of what you already have, then it's trickier, right? The RPC might be a better choice for you. But again, you know, if I would pick on a fresh project and I don't have any baggage, let's put it this way, right? I would pick Hasura, I would pick GraphQL any time of the day because this thing over here saved me probably months of work time by this point. Like I've used it on several projects already, and the amount of time it can save you is just silly. T3 app. I have not heard about T3 app. Let me have a look. What is that? T3GG. What is this the thing? Create T app. Quickest way to start a new web app full stack safely. Okay. What is T3 stack? So what is it? Next.js, TRPC. Okay, so it's like pre-baked thing with everything inside, right? That's nice. Like it's great that this is a boilerplate, but that does not, like, you still have to manage TRPC yourself, right? And if you, I cannot comment much on TRPC because I haven't worked with it, but like, how do you do custom things and how do you do, look, so like, okay, here's my point, right? You take Hasura, and I already showed it in streams more than once. You launch it on Postgres, right? You open the console, you create a table, and you get create, read, update, delete operations by default. You literally don't have to do anything. You just get them, right? Is it the same with TRPC? Or like, do you have to implement CRUD yourself, essentially, right? This is my biggest question because I never want to implement CRUD myself again after Hasura. Okay, so let's see. Do they have source, components, layouts, pages? Okay, public, Astro. Where do I find the? Okay, this is command line. There's the template. These add-ons, source. Env, pages, styles. Is it like lives? No, it doesn't seem like there's anything. Add-ons? Prisma, yeah, there you go. That's okay, that's TRPC part, right? Example, Prisma router. So, hello, input. Yeah, so basically what I'm seeing here, right? It says, hey, here's your TRPC, here's your Prisma. Now go and implement all your get all your write, all your update queries yourself, right? Which is fine, but why? When I can just strap in Hasura and in 30 seconds, like 1 minute, I have a working GraphQL endpoint with CRUD and with role-based authentication and authorization slapped on top of it. So, you know, I'm very old now, so I don't like to implement things myself. So, you know, the less I have to implement, essentially, the more the chances that I will take that technology and use it for myself. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Hasra is sort of one way to solve everything, because I know it is not, right? And there absolutely might be the cases when TRPC might work better. But again, it seems like there is a lot of manual work involved, and I am not a fan of that. Okay, so let me think. Data set, right, and then we gonna call it. How are we gonna call the file? We have to call it somehow with the game name, right? So for const game of games. That's okay. So we got game name, and I guess we can just do that, but I don't know if that's that. Is there a way to? Man, I guess we can plop in Lodash or something, but no. Whoops. Node.js camel case. Is there like a camel case in STD or something? Probably not, right? Yeah, okay, we can pull in like camel case from Syndra. It feels like it should work. Let's just go with that. Okay. Grab that. Camel case the name. Okay, yeah, okay, we should probably do it this way. Okay, const file name, right? So we generate file name from the game. Then we say, oh boy, I keep forgetting. There was long time ago, Node.js fs, there was a function that was called fs exists that checked if the file exists, and then it was deprecated for some reason, and now it's called something different. Yeah, it is deprecated, and it says use fs stat. Okay, so we need to use stat. And if the file doesn't exist, I think it throws. Asynchronous stat2 calls back, blah, 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 blah. In case of an error code will be given. Common system errors. E exists, file exists. Is there file does not a permission denied? Too many open files? No, so yeah, okay, cool. So we can basically do stat, and then if stat const file exists, await stat file name. Or I guess that's not really a name, that's a file path, right? Yes, there's a file path. It should be in try catch. Yes, catch error console log processing game name. Otherwise, we're gonna say continue. So basically, if there is already a file with that name, that means that we already processed that game and have written it to the disk, so we can skip it, which means that we can restart the scraping anytime we want, and we won't rescrape everything we already did, right? Console log game name already processed, skipping. Okay. Processing that. Okay, and then we write it to that, and yeah, okay. That should be fixed. Game Steam ID, and that should be game name, right? Okay, boy, and I guess we should probably add some sleeping in between, because I don't want to be permabanned by no, wait, what timers, promises is what I want. Set timeout. Whoops, no, this is what I want. Okay, and then we're gonna sleep a bit. Enter game timeout. Let's do that and say we're gonna sleep 1 second between games, just to give it some time to cool down. Okay. Open critic. I mean, is there, oh, wait a second. So there's this rapid API thing. Do I have my Do I have my subscribed? Yes. View analytics. They have like how many requests I have left. 36 API calls already, and we barely did anything. That's a bit discouraging. I think we had like 200 per day, right? So it's gonna take a few days to actually scrape all of that. Let me see. Quota usage. What do you mean 52%? I thought it was 200. Oh, it's quota objects per day. Oh, interesting. So they also have 200 requests, but also 25 objects per. Some of those limits are confusing as hell. Anyway, we can just run it and see how far we get. Okay, node index, theoretically, if I do that, we should, yeah, right, okay. Oh yeah, that's good. No, okay, that was pretty fast actually. And, aha. Okay, we got new bugs, so game planet, U apparently is not found. Interesting. So I guess there are some dead links. Curious. All right, so we want extract main content. So how do we, I guess, we wrap the whole, nah. I mean, we don't need to do it, whoops. We don't need to do that here. What we can do is we can do try. Then we just catch an error, and if there is an error, we just return, so I'm just gonna return, well, I mean, we can just return an error, right? We can just serialize it and write it down and then filter based on error and refetch if there's anything to refetch. I guess that should work. And I should also probably remove the console logs from whatever they fetched this results. Yes. Oh. This is what's console logging. I was like, why is it console logging when it shouldn't? All right. So theoretically, if we run that, it said 200 reviews, but that was a lie. It should have been. Why is it only 200? 200 reviews, 100 of 0 reviews continuing. There is something off over here. So there's something off with the counting. Is 200 pages. It cannot be that fast, can it? Hold up a second. Wait. Okay, let me just. So we got that thing going. Yeah, that's fine. So let's. What? There was some fetch. Oh, okay. So we're hitting memory limits now because the documents are too damn large, and we're also doing the whole thing in parallel. Possible event emitter memory leak. 11 terminated listeners added to fetch. Hey? Wait a second. So where are we? Okay, no, we don't need that. So this is one fetch, then our text. Yes, that's only one. Should not be a problem. Yes, okay, also not a problem. Also not a problem. Also should not be a problem. Why is it leaking memory? But I mean, it probably is not leaking memory, we're just doing everything in parallel, right? So that's the problem probably. But anyway, so we got Red Dead Redemption. That thing is, I'm curious. Okay, so let's try to load that. Data set, Red Dead Redemption 2. I am curious. Console log data, Steam, what is it called again? Steam, come on. Steam reviews. Reviews length is what we want. So is that even correct, or is it's like Steam not giving out the whole 100 reviews? Why is there only 100 reviews in there? Is my code screwed up somewhere or something? Hey Donna, welcome to the stream. So there's definitely something off over here. Why can't I disable invisible highlight? Yes. Disable ambiguous highlight, yes. Can I collapse this? No. Why are you not allowing me to collapse this? Okay, so there's definitely something off with Steam review fetching. I guess is my code broken? Did I screw something up? Okay, so let's debug my code, I guess. So we got game results, default game review, right? So we got that. Okay, so this is empty, okay. And then we say that reviews concat new reviews. Yes, and we assign it to here. So that should be fine. Fetched length of total reviews. Yes, that seems... So if we scroll... Okay, you know what? Let's try to run it. So we did the whole thing with the Red Dead Redemption, right? And where is my game? Right, I have ID over here. I can just do that. So we need to figure out why is it not fetching TypeScript server error. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. So pre-processing fetching Steam API. And yeah, that is definitely too fast. It cannot fetch that many reviews that fast, right? Reviews length 100, and it only says fetched 100 of. So why is it only 100? Where's the rest? If cursor, okay, is the cursor somehow empty? Undefined. Okay, why is cursor undefined? Oh, god damn it, I'm an idiot, right? Okay, I think that should fix it. So I renamed the variable without looking properly through the code, but so let's see. There we go. What? Why is it undefined? Hold the hell up. Total reviews, right? Total reviews, query summary. Okay, I guess we should be doing that because it seems like sometimes it still returns metadata, but the metadata is not correct. So let's default to whatever was there already, right? Oh, come on, sort of. There we go. That is a just randomly returns less than 100 reviews. Steam API. Okay, now that looks correct, right? So, okay, first things first. Pre-processing fetch Steam API. So, right, okay, god damn it. Again, the same thing, I forgot. Kill that. Okay. Git, let's see what we staged. Yep, git commit. Fix Steam API cursor handling is what we did, right? And then, so this, yes, git add preprocessing, git commit, handle open critic, call it handle errors during open critic full text fetching. All right. Okay, cool. Node index, let's run that. Okay. Okay, now we're talking. So that seems like it's working. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. You know what we can do? Wait a second. We can make it a bit nicer. So let me just return that back. And what we can do is we can go to npm. So essentially what you're looking at is my daily work, but it usually, is with enterprise data instead of video games. But that is pretty much what I do on a daily basis. So yeah, there is the progress. So you can actually have a proper progress bar with estimates on how long it will take and all that business. Okay, progress, yes. Gonna do that. Gonna copy this stuff. Okay, import progress bar from progress. Const bar. Okay, we are gonna create bar per run. Boy, how do we handle this? Can I mean, what would be the best way to do that? I guess yeah, let's just say that there is some progress bar that is going to be given to us. And then essentially here, so if total reviews, we need to say that, right, we cannot do that. Okay. So we cannot do that, which means that, no, I mean, we can do that, but it just means that we have to instantiate it here. Oh boy, okay. Assign values. Let me think, how do we do this properly? Create progress bar if needed. If total reviews. So I think we can just do that. New bar total reviews, right? So we say, okay, here's a new bar. And then essentially every time we do this, we have to do, okay, so we can actually remove that console log. Bar tick new reviews length is what we want to do. I think that's how it works. So you can current token. Yes, and then there is this stuff that we can basically make it a bit fancier. Let's just put it this way. So there's the bar. We're gonna have current, we're gonna have total, we're gonna have we're gonna have percent over here, current total, and then ETA, and then elapsed ETA, something like that, right? So that we can see. Okay, I think, all right, we should also pass the progress further down. I think that should do it. Okay, let's see. Node preprocess fetch Steam API, and bar is not defined. Oh yeah, right. Progress is what it should be called. And there we go. Okay, cool. So it says it will need around 400 seconds by 60. Yeah, so under 10 minutes, which is still pretty good. We should why is it so, why doesn't it fit here? It's a bit weird. Okay, ETA rate. I mean, we can also plop in rate for good measure, because why not? So ETA and then rate. Okay. How does that look? Why is it eat the last character? What is going on? Are you supposed to do that or something? You're gonna... No, it just literally removes the last character. What the hell's going on? Do I need to like space bars or something? There we go. Okay, couple of space bars fixed it. Which is... So I ask it for literally 100 reviews, but it actually sometimes returns less than that, it seems, right? So we're getting... The rate is a bit lower than I expected, but it's still pretty decent, yeah. So can keep it at that, right? And then we can, okay, increase progress bar, okay. So we can, yeah, kill that. So git add preprocessing, git add package. So yeah, okay, we added a bit more than here, but that's fine. Git add progress bar to Steam API fetching. Okay, so we got that. I also wonder, I mean, I think theoretically 10,000 reviews should not be a big problem memory-wise, as in, you know, the 10,000 reviews should fit in memory, no problem. But we might need to implement streaming at one point. Well, at least we're not getting like a million reviews or whatever. Okay, we should probably also add the progress to the OpenCritic, because why not? Okay, we are gonna get, yeah, so we got that. Problem with OpenCritic is that we don't know how many reviews are there, so we cannot really add that. Well, oh no, wait, we can add that, but we will add it over here, right? So we're just gonna say that, hey, progress bar is gonna appear after we fetch the links, right? Which is perfectly fine. Okay, progress tick. Okay. So in theory, if I do node index MJS now, we should see. Yeah, okay. Let's just pick a game that is not that large first, so that we can actually see the results. Okay, which one of those has the least reviews? I don't know if it's going to be Celeste, but let's see. So I want something that is not going to take like 3 years to finish. That's 50k reviews. That's still very chunky. Maybe Inside or something. That's pretty niche indie, right? So it's like it's not like not as big as Celeste. Okay, 30k. That's already better. Freshly Frosted. I think that had like a very little reviews, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's start with that. Let me do it this way. So I'm just going to comment this out for now. Throw this in here. Okay, and then theoretically we can kill that. We can also add. I know we already have git ignore, so we should say that data. Well, again, I can leave that here. I can also say data set JSON should also be ignored. Okay, and now if we do that, yep. What the hell? I'm sorry, what now? Okay, I'm very confused right now. It said 120, yeah, so 124 sounds about right. What is it fetching there? Oh no! What is going on? Is my Steam API broken again? What's going on? Console log new cursor. Okay, so what is happening right now? Let's see. Ah, okay. So basically, if the cursor is or new cursor equals old cursor, not equal, right? So the new cursor should not be the same as old cursor. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. This doesn't make any sense. Wait a second. Oh, it should be n, right? Oh my. Me and Boolean conditions never work well together. All right, cool. That works. So we fixed it. That is a good news. Okay, let me run it. Okay, right. It's gonna skip it because we already have it here. There's our reviews. Is it the very positive 124 reviews? Yeah, that seems to be working, and the reviews are okay. Let's see, freshly frosted. Yeah, that seems to be working. Cool. So what we can do is we can, okay, we fixed that. Okay, I probably should commit that as a separate pre-processing fetch Steam. Let me see, git commit fix Steam RP pagination handling. No, handling good. There we go. Okay, and then what did I change here? Yes, added progress bar, git status, git add pre-processing. Well, I mean, we can add everything essentially. Git ignore data sets. I think games list is currently, yeah, okay, that should be reverted back to its original state. Whoops. Okay, let's check what we have staged. Yes, this looks correct. So games list is good. This looks fine. Yep. Okay, cool. Commit add games list, add progress to open critic fetching. List fetching, let's call it this way. Yep. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So basically, I think that's it for the stream. If you guys have questions or suggestions, now is the time to throw them into the chat. If not, I will document what we did and yeah, basically run the extraction script over the next few days so that next time we stream, we can actually dive into the whole machine learning bit and see how we process the text and what we can actually get out of it using game name. Okay. If there are no questions or suggestions, then, you know, thank you very much for joining. As always, the code is on GitHub. It is on my personal GitHub, so it's YAMLite/gaming knowledge graph. Add readme at current state to readme, I guess. I don't know if the current list of games is good enough, but I guess it is good enough. So like if we look at it, Elden Ring, Divinity. Well, Divinity should be similar-ish to something like Disco Elysium, for example, although, you know, distantly so. Celeste, Rayman, Inside, again, kinda worry. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm very curious to see what kind of similarity, if any, we will find here. Again, this is, yeah, to properly have a recommender engine, we would have to scrape the whole database, right? So the whole database of OpenCritic reviews and the whole database of Steam reviews, which is quite a task. But I mean, we're only interested in proof of concept at this point, and then if any of you wants to pick it up and continue, then be my guest by all means. Okay, cool. It is pushed, right? Yes, it is. Okay. Then I guess that is basically it for today. So thank you guys very much for watching. Again, all the code is on GitHub, so if you're curious, I should probably fix the README, but that's fine. If you're curious, do check it out yourself, try it out, try to break things. If you find any bugs, please do submit pull requests. We'll be more than happy to accept them and talk about them on the subsequent streams. Join our Discord if you want to discuss any of that outside of stream times. I am mostly there, so I'll be more than happy to chat. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I see you next time.